Welcome to Yachting International Radio. You're with Karine from the Crew Coach on your mental health. So today I'm presenting from Bali. I have looked high and low for the perfect venue for us to do this series, but unfortunately there's a noise of traffic everywhere, and I found this room which I hope with the sound, the way in which it's structured, that the sound will be more contained and you'll be able to hear me a lot better than being elsewhere. So last week I spoke about unhelpful thinking and the different types of unhelpful thinking patterns that we can engage in, such as black and white thinking or catastrophizing, so thinking the worst of a situation. So this week we're going to focus on positive restructuring, cognitive restructuring, and this looks at reframing your thoughts to more positive thoughts, which will in turn produce more positive feelings, which will lead to positive choices and hopefully positive outcomes. So the two techniques I'm going to refer to come from two particular therapeutic modalities. The one is CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and DBT. So these two modalities are used predominantly with people who suffer from anxiety, depression, addiction, also post-traumatic stress. So I'm going to start off with the first technique, which is radical acceptance. In some scenarios, we may not be, in control of particular situations. For example, if we apply for a job and we don't get that interview, it's our dream job, naturally we're going to feel really disappointed. Instead of beating yourself up and thinking, why does this always happen to me? Life is so unfair. What's the point in even trying? We can reframe our thinking to more accepting the situation for what it is, for face value. Now, this doesn't mean you have to like the situation or condone it. It's more accepting the situations, as I said, for what it is, and reframing your thoughts around that. So what you could think is that, look, I acknowledge your feelings. I am disappointed that I didn't get the job. But at the same time, think about other things, the benefits associated around that. Like maybe something better is coming around the corner for me. Maybe it's not my ideal job and I will find something better in time. So that should naturally make you feel a lot better than beating yourself up about it. Now, the next technique comes from DBT, and that is called, it's an acronym, and it's called ACCEPTS. That's A for activities, engaging in activities that are going to make you feel good. So whether that's listening to music or going for a run, doing a yoga class. Then there's C for comparison. There's two ways of looking at it. The first is comparing your situation to someone else who is in a far worse situation than yourself, which is something like, I don't know in terms of being realistic when you're in such a distressed state, whether you're going to go, well, so-and-so had this happen to me, so I need to suck it up and feel a lot better. Because when you're in the situation, it's really hard to use the comparisons technique. But how I like to frame it is that you can use comparisons when thinking about a time in your life where you were struggling and you were experiencing a difficult emotion and how you got through that. So just reassuring yourself that it will pass and things will get better. The next is another C, and that's for contribution. Look at things or situations where you can make a difference. So close friends, can you pick up the phone and call them, see how they're doing, or do something nice for the neighbor, pick a bunch of flowers, or leave your cabin mates a little note and a little chocolate and say, well, I hope you have a good day and thinking of you. So by doing acts of kindness, that is naturally going to make you feel better, and there's evidence to prove that this is going to have a positive effect on the brain. So it's going to release endorphins. E stands for emotion. So this is engaging in activities that's going to make you feel good. So think about your interests and hobbies that you absolutely love, whether it's going for a surf or if it's going to watch a feel-good movie with a friend. that you know that's going to make you feel a bit better, even if it's just that much better. That's an improvement, and that's really good because that's what we're looking for. Now we've got A, C, C, E. P stands for pushing away. So now this is another one where I'm not too sure if I entirely agree with it. Pushing away is more suppressing your emotions, and I don't believe that we should push our emotions down, because that's unhealthy, and I don't think that that's going to help us. It could make us feel a lot worse. I think what you can do, though, is set a time for when you're going to experience an emotion. So what I mean by that is that if you're very emotional and very teary, maybe set some time aside to vent or express your emotion in whatever healthy way that you can, rather than just pushing it away and saying, you know what, I can't feel this right now, because I think it's really important to experience the emotion in the now. But if that experience is prolonged, then I think you can allocate time for that emotion. And then the last one is thoughts. So I've discussed this before. Our thoughts affect how we feel and how we behave. And we need to look at the evidence to support our thinking. So often we get carried away with our thinking, and we go in this downward spiral that can be very difficult to get out of. But the way in which to stop that is to think about whether there's reality behind that thought. So looking for the evidence to support your thinking. Let's go back to the example of the interview. So now let's say that you didn't get the interview and your thoughts were, I am useless, I will never get a job, no one sees my value or my worth, what's the point? Now, can you imagine how you would feel if you would tell yourself that statement? So what we need to do is reframe it or challenge it to more positive thoughts. So this could be, well, you know what? That's okay. I know that I can get something better because I've had previous job interviews in the past and I have been successful and I have received positive feedback on my work ethic. So that's one way in which you can challenge your thinking. So looking at the evidence to support the thought. So in this example, you can see that there was no evidence to support the thought that I am incompetent, no one sees my value. So guys, I hope you found this exercise helpful, and I wish you all a happy and safe Christmas, New Year period, and I cannot wait to connect with you all next year. Thank you for joining me, the crew coach at Yachting International Radio. Bye.